What's up, guys? Philip with Trade Genius here. And today's video, I wanted to clarify what's going on with the Bitcoin ETF. A lot of misinformation out there as far as when there's going to be a decision and how that affects Bitcoin. Also, we'll take a look at our Bitcoin chart for the kind of the midweek update, and then we'll also take a look at the overall picture with the alts on this chart. So with that being said, let's head into today's video.
Trade Genius.
All right, so as most of you probably have heard by now, if you've been following or into the crypto space, is that we're working on getting an ETF approved from the CBOE, and they're going to be working with the VanEck SolidX Bitcoin Trust. And this is going to be more for the accredited investor, and what that means is you need to be of a certain net worth to be able to trade this. But this is really going to open up and help get more funds and things into this space. And once an ETF like this is approved, it's going to help approving other ETFs that'll be more toward the retail customer. A lot of misinformation is being put out there as far as the decision date, one being in August. So basically, with regards to ETFs, they have to get they have to get an individual exemptive order from the SEC before going to market, and only because the SEC framework for security laws did not originally take into account ETFs. That's a fairly newer product in the big scheme of things. And so the way it works is they have to take the ETF proposal, they have to either deny it, or if they accept it, they put it out for comments. And so there's 45 days where they have the comment. Now, what typically happens when people don't realize is there's actually a couple more extension periods, and they typically won't extend the deadline until the previous deadline is reached. So what this means is, so you have this 45 days extension. That's extension number one. So you can go 45 more days after the current comment period, right? So that's 45 days out. That's extension number one. Okay, that's after the current 45 days. Then you have a 90-day extension. That's extension number two. Okay, that's basically another reviewal period to approve or disapprove. So you could get an approval in that period. And then if they decide they want more time, you got another 60 days to get approved. So what that means is you're going to have up to 240 days before this thing gets approved. And why would they go that far out? Well, it's because it's a new asset class, and I think they want to see how stable price is going to be. They've seen one blow off top, and then price kind of stabilized now after we've kind of tested the lows at 6,000 and a tad under. So its price volatility has come way down from December, but they may extend it out just to monitor things. That's, their job is to protect the investing crowd from unsafe products. So we won't know until these periods pass, though. So yes, there could be an approval in here, and that would be really bullish because I think that would be anything that happens before this 240-day max review limit would be really bullish, because one, you've got the ETF approved, and you're going to see more volume come into the space institutionally, and two, that just shows that everybody that the SEC felt the product was solid, and it's just a bullish sentiment to get it approved before then. But because it's new, and because this thing is they're just kind of testing the waters here, don't be surprised if we go 240 days out. So that's going to extend out into 2019. So just remember that. There's 4 other ETFs too that are being applied for. So there's a lot of activity going on in this space. Highly likely that this is going to probably get approved, but it's not going to happen in August. So August 10th was the end of the current period that we're in, and that's the one that kind of floats around. So you got August 10th, and the other extension period takes us to September 24th. Let's just write it like this. 9/24 is the next extension period. These are the dates you kind of want to key on. Expect extensions though. Okay, so August 10th, 9/24, and then December 12/23, give or take a day, because I think that's getting into holidays. And then this one could add on another 60 days. So from December 23rd, 60 days. So, this is how far out it could go. 2 months. So February of 2019 is when they can extend this out, and don't be surprised if they do to make a decision. Now, is that bad? No, because I think typically what you're going to see is a speculation of it, the whole buy the rumor and sell the news. That's kind of counterintuitive, but you buy based on something happening. And even if it gets approved, a lot of times what you'll see is some profit taking, because the retail crowd comes in and it's a lot of liquidity to sell into, and then they wonder what happened. There's a pullback, and then the smart money waits till after that to buy back lower, and then you really get a longer extended move. So just keep that in mind, guys. February 2019 could be the area in which we see the actual approval come. If it's sooner than that, that'll be super bullish. So just wanted to kind of remind everybody of that. Now let's head into the Bitcoin chart. What we have here is basically a nice run up. Obviously, we've seen one push here, another push here, and haven't really seen. Now this is a 4-hour chart. Notice that we got a bearish divergence to a certain degree here. So RSI made a lower low from here. This is a lower low, but price went higher, and we were overbought on our linear regression channel, so price is taking a break. The other thing I like to look at is previous price action, that we came down from this level down, and then we're looking back up. So what I like to see is how the volume profile looks. Now, obviously, we've got some pretty gigantic nodes here. And so you got node 1 here, node 2 here, 3, and then a big chunk here at 4. This is like your major support level now. Now, as you can see, price reacts, right? So if we kind of zoom through these volume voids, that's why it's good to know where these things are at. Zoom through it, hit this volume node. What did we do? We consolidated. Okay, again, got through this volume node. We had a volume void here. Price moved pretty quickly through that. All right, and now we're consolidating again. So if we can get above this 8,500 level, it's likely we're going to see another zoom, and we're going to break into the 9,000s. Again, if you remember yesterday's video, if this is truly tracking the next cycle up, we should be heading into 10,000 fairly quickly. Obviously, you can see how fast we went from 6,000 to well into the 8,000s. That didn't take very much time, about 2 weeks. So we could be back into that 10,000 range in short order. And I have not seen much of anything on the daily as far as bearish divergences. So this 4-hour one definitely, but if we make a new high on this RSI here and it corresponds to a new high on price, then that kind of resets that correction. Again, what's bullish is that we're not really pulling back off these levels, we're consolidating within them. So, if we don't see a breakout here, when we are in these situations, this is kind of like no man's land, because it could break down further and then retrace this volume void, bounce off this prior support and go higher. That's the safer play. The other way is just you're going to catch a breakout and zoom on up to like that 9,200 level that we looked at. So that is the way that you would look at playing that and these volume pockets. As far as alts go, let's take a look at our other chart here. This is, like I said before, this is kind of like the areas where previously we've seen the lows and highs on the alt market, just using the Ethereum BTC ratio as a guidepost. As you can see, we're getting close to previous support and this long-term trend line. So we're kind of floating up here, could see another thrust down. If we did see another thrust down, it would probably be off another Hulk smash move which is when we see Bitcoin thrust, like we saw through this volume void here, thrust higher. And what happens is the alts get smashed because the FOMO kicks in and everyone bails their alts to buy into the Bitcoin bull move. And so if this happens again, you could see that next thrust down. I think that's probably going to coincide with this area here. So take a look at that when we see that happen. If that happens, might be a really big time risk reward type move and getting into some longer term swings. Everyone thinks alts are going to die off. A lot of them will, but make no mistake, there's going to be another move up, and alts just have a really high rate of return on gains when trading in terms of Bitcoin. So again, some alts I think have longer term potential, others just a great vehicle to make some nice Bitcoin gains for your long-term Bitcoin stash. All right, guys, well, that's basically it. If you're interested in joining us in the room, you can head over to tradelikeagenius.com. Check out the specials over there. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.
Trade Genius.